So here's my list of. I don't know where it's gonna be. I don't know what number it's gonna be, but I think this is my list of terrible anime fathers. Again, is at the bottom of the list. We're going from bottom, the worst to best. So, from worst is Ging. Ging is just straight terrible. The guy from Fullmetal Alchemist. I think he had to eat for I think for him it was like a matter of survival, right? But at the same time, it's like you're gonna put your daughter through a alchemy. That had to be torturous. Like they just to become a dog, to be mutated with a dog. You know, that had to be torturous. That had to be torturous. Um, and just to do that for to keep his alchemy thing, and people were still talking garbage about him. Oh well, I kept my alchemy title. I'm like, okay, but it's like your reputation went down the toilet. You could have done several more other things, you know. And I think another bad father to me is I'm trying to figure out the name is Ging. I did Ging. Um, the Fire Lord. The Fire Lord was abusive to his wife. From the Avatar: Last Airbender, he's abusive to his wife. Shot lightning at his son. My dad would never beat me until I do something crazy. Shoot electricity at his son. And granted, Zuko returned it, but that's also very crazy. You get what I'm saying? And Tywin Lannister. Tywin Lannister. He's like, so I watched Game of Thrones. I'm rewatching the Game of Thrones, and this guy's like, you can't tell your son's washed up at this point. I'm watching clips. I'm watching clips. I'm saying you can't tell that your son's washed at this point. A Valyrian sword with one hand, when he's a two-handed swordsman, is kind of crazy. And he can't even beat, like, he fought Brianna Tarth, and she easily beats him. From one of the clips I remember seeing, he can't even beat Brianna Tarth. And Omni Man, let's say this. Thaddeus was eventually going to come for his sons. Thaddeus is a complete OCD, off the deep end. There's no medication that's going to bring this guy to the center of reality. He's totally hyper focused, hyper vigilant against the Ultramites. Granted, they're conquering planets, doing all this and that, third. Here's the thing. You can't. So you want to kill your own kind because they're violent. Okay. You had them pushed to the outer source. There's like 37 Ultramites. 37 Ultramites. Right? That you killed that 40, you brought it down to 37. That is good. You can't tell me that say, okay, let's stop here. Let's just take out the Empire, bring it down to zero. Like, you know, there's a Rick and Morty episode, right? The Empire with all the bugs and stuff comes to Earth. Rick brings down the economy, the dollar, from $1 to $0, and he just brings it down. Why couldn't you just do that? Because then they don't have to. They can live, but they had to be killed. They had to be killed. Thaddeus had to be annihilated. So it's like to me, it's like you know, I can't wait until Omni Man has control over them, you know? And because it's like, to me, it's just like, what are we doing? You know? What are we doing? And it just feels like, whatever. But no, next bad father is I named Zook, Ozai, Full Alchemist, I father go Full Alchemist, other Ying, however, Tywin, Tywin Lannister, and Omni Man. No, yeah, Omni Man. Omni Man. It's like, to me. Oh, the guy from what's his name? What's his name? The guy from My Hero Academia, the fire guy. Power, whatever. The fire guy from the honorable mention is fire guy. Fire. Let me pause this. Whatever, it's fire guy. It's just so bad that these guys chose to do this to their kids. They're very abusive. They're very not helpful. They don't think for themselves. In Omni Man's case, he doesn't think for themselves, and just let Thaddeus die, and just let Thaddeus go through his little midlife crisis. But not midlife crisis, his crisis of whatever. He should have let Thaddeus take some soldiers up there, let the soldiers and then die, and then let Thaddeus sleep. Let Thaddeus die and do his thing, and that's it. Because they did enough. The Viltrumites are brought to heel. They can't do much. 40 people against a whole bunch of other aliens, bro. That doesn't make any sense, but that's whatever. Like, comment, follow. Deuces.